If you want to play lead guitar like George Harrison from the Beatles, then look no further. George Harrison was one of the greatest guitar players of the 20th century. He had a sound and a vibe that was just impeccable, and although he wasn't flashy or fast, everything he played made sense within the tune. Hopefully you'll play along with all three solos, but if one of these three is your absolute favorite, then go right ahead and jump into it. But otherwise, let's just begin. The song Nowhere Man was recorded in the fall of 1965 and was released on the album Rubber Soul. It features an 8-bar guitar solo that showcases George's ability to utilize triads and then create melodic shapes on top of that. It's not the most difficult guitar solo to learn, but I'm sure you'll have a lot of fun with it, and it just sounds amazing. So let's get started. The song itself is in the key of E major, and what he does is play an E major triad with a double root, utilizing the middle finger on the 2nd fret on the D string, the index on the 1st fret of the G string, and then open B and E strings. Play that once, and then play the E string open once by itself, and the B string open once by itself. So the first bar sounds like this. In the second measure, we'll go up to the 4th fret, do a little bar over the D, G, and B strings with the first finger, and then after that, play the 5th fret and the 7th fret with the middle and the pinky on the B string. Third measure is an A major chord, and we'll do it the good old textbook way, which is 3 fingers. And I'm playing it from the D string and up. And I'll arpeggiate it down and end up with a double stop of the D and the G strings. So right on the 4th beat. The 4th measure will utilize the E major chord that we had from the beginning. And I'll slide up to the 4th and the 2nd fret, and then up to the 6th and 4th fret, both times with my ring finger and index finger, so it goes like this. In the 5th measure, I'll go down to the 2nd fret, put the index finger barred over the on the 2nd fret of the D and the G strings, while playing an open A. And then play the A on the G string again, and then utilize the 3rd finger to play on the 4th fret. So it goes like this. In the 6th measure, I'm still putting my index finger barred over the 2nd fret here. I'll play it again, like I did in the 5th measure. But the only difference is, instead of going out to the 4th fret on the D, I'm gonna go to the 3rd fret of the A string instead. So bars 5 and 6 sound like this together. We'll wrap up the solo by going 3rd fret on the A string. We're already there with the 2nd finger, so we'll play it again, and then down to the 2nd fret with the index finger like this. Go up to the 7th fret of the E string with the 3rd finger, for instance. Slide down, open E, finish up with a harmonic on the 5th fret of the E string. So let's play the whole solo nice and slowly. 3, 4. In 1964, the Beatles released the movie A Hard Day's Night. The title track has a little 8-bar guitar solo that we're going to work on now. It's not the most difficult solo to learn, but the 16th note pattern that we'll work on in a second is a little tricky, and it may take some time to get it up to speed. So let's see what happens. One more time. The solo kicks off on the 5th fret of the D string, jumping down to the 3rd fret on G, and back up to 5, but on G still. So those are the 3 notes from the opening riff. You see? After that, we'll be sliding from 5 up to 7. And now we're getting ready to the 16th notes. And I'm actually already in place because I got my ring finger on 7, my index is ready on 5, and my middle finger is ready on 6th fret on the B string. And I'm doing a hammer on here, picking the B string, hammer on G. Eventually, sliding back down, sliding down G from 7 to 5, and then 3, and then back to the opening note, the 5th fret on the D string. So, like that. The whole solo, let's try to play it together slowly. 1, 2, 3, 4. The 16th notes. One more time. 2, 3, 4. And there you have it. That's the whole solo. It's not too difficult. It's easy to memorize the whole thing. But the hard part is definitely those 16th notes. And you may need to work a little bit on that to get it smooth and to get the slides up and down and all those technical things. Just remember, if things are difficult, slow down. Do it slowly where you can control the pace, you can control all the technical aspects that we just discussed. So something like this. Even slower. And then after working on that for a while, you'll be able to crank the tempo back up where it was supposed to be. So keep practicing. It's a great little solo. All My Loving has an 8-bar guitar solo that borrows a lot from country guitar playing. We'll see a lot of triads with its inversions, and we'll see how he adds a melodic layer on top of that. So let's see what happens. Let's get started. One more time. The song is in the key of E major, but we're going to aim towards the 4 chord, A. So we have a little pickup that goes 2, open, 2, 4, and then open A. And while playing this open A, my fretting hand is going to jump up to the 5th fret where it's going to play an A dominant 7 chord with the index on 5, pinky on 8, middle on 6, and then opening up the index for the open E. And then I'm going to do some double stops here. I'm going to jump up to the 9th fret and the 9th fret on E and G, and then 7 and 8, and then 5 and 6. Then up again on the B string on the 9, E string on 7, and then double stop here on 9. So moving on, I'm getting 12 and 9 here, 10 and 8. I'm using the pinky all the way here. 12 and 9, 10 and 8, and then 9 and 9. Still with the pinky, so the pinky goes like that. I'm ending up on this F sharp minor in a first inversion that goes 7, 6, 7 with my middle, index, and ring finger, and then playing my G string again, and then my B string, just those notes one by one. And then we move up to another inversion of F sharp minor. We're going to go up to the 9, 10, and 11. I'm fretting it with my index, middle, and pinky because I'm going to also apply my ring finger to 11 on the D string, because then I have two triads, essentially. First I'm playing the top triad, and then the bottom triad, so G, B, and E strings first, and then the D, G, and the B strings. You see? And then finishing up with a little E majorish, or an E power, I guess it is, on the 9th fret with my index finger. I'm barring on the G and the D strings. And then this little country lick at the end. 9th fret, and then 10, 11, hammer on. Now that we've worked out the fingerings and all the voicings, let's try to play it together a couple of times in a practice tempo. Just remember, there's a pickup. So I'll be counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and then we pick it up. Let's try it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Let's do it one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. And there you have it. Awesome little solo. One more time. Well, so that's it, everyone, on the video covering George Harrison. I hope you liked it. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. I'd really appreciate it. I got more videos coming up covering George, more of his solos, and also videos covering other guitar players. So just keep coming back to the channel. And in the meantime, you can check out other videos that you could see here. And I'll see you soon. Bye bye.